Hey there team, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to Lords and Villeins. So this game seems really cool. I've already been playing a little bit of it. The tutorial is quite robust because it's covering some really unusual stuff. So straight out of the gate, really cool. I'll try and walk you through the basics as best as I understand them. Villeins means peasant, or something to that effect. More maybe a peasant that's associated legally with a lord, right? So sort of serfdom, but closer to a free peasant, but they have obligations to their overbearing lord, I suppose. Anyway, so this game focuses very much on handing out land rights and then drawing tax from it. That's sort of your perspective. So you enable the peasantry to thrive underneath you because it's advantageous to yourself. You can grant them free stuff if you want to sort of help their infrastructure along, and by giving them infrastructure, so certain, giving cooking pots and all that sort of stuff, they will start to automatically make more complex meals or building tools and all that. So there's a pseudo automation in there, but you have to still enable them with the infrastructure and land rights and all that sort of stuff. So it's really unusual, works quite cool actually. So let's see how we go. So we're just going to go into standard. Gronkville sounds pretty good to me. The tutorial scenario you can pick here, and I stopped after like an hour because I started to get the idea of what's going on, but it's very hand-holdy. So this is actually a confusing screen to me. This is how you create your starting family, right? So surname Gronk, Lord, Theodoric, whatever, that'll do, but you can hit random, right? And these are your kids, as I understand. Anyway, so that's how the ball gets going. Anyway, confirm. Let's get straight into it. There's a little bit of setup. You start with 3 families, and they will be the sort of default professions. Let's just pause it there. Of farming, forestry, and fishing, I suppose is probably the best way to describe it. You can see we start with a general warehouse there, and let me see, how would we bring up market price? That's not it there. You bring up, you can get an idea of what we have, right? We've got some money, we've got beer, all these sort of bits and bobs that are ours. They belong to our family. And in turn, like our servants could use them, but the family's not necessarily, not unless we set up an arrangement. We could put a storefront on our warehouse and we could sell things. We could also opt to hand things out for free. We can directly grant things to certain families as well. We can seize things if we really want to go down that path. But you sort of want to be a bit hands-off as much as possible. But getting the starting infrastructure up might require you to, sort of stick your head in and see what's going on. Anyway, so the first thing that you want to do is get your basic zones going. Households is going to be a thing, sure. But the first 3, farmland, royal, forest, and fishing pool are the most important. But you've got all this other crap down here as well. But we will get to that eventually. For starters, let's zone farmland, right? Which is best done kind of out in the open, funnily enough. I don't know. I'm not sold how I want to build, but I'm going to think in 3x3 modules because I'm like this. If you've ever watched the channel, I have an obsession with building in cubes. Anyway, so let's designate that as farmland. Royal forest. Oh, I don't know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do something like 6x3. Hang on, my counter's off there. Maybe let's do this. Yeah, I like that. Just to even just play with it. You can resize them pretty easily, but just to play with a bit of different sizes. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Oh, I don't know. Let's do that for the fishing area. And then let's give them homes. So we're going to need household. Oh, I don't know what the best way to... Maybe like that. Let's give them some space. Again, I don't know what the min-max is for this, so we're just sort of figuring it out as we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is you click on the farmland. The font is so small, so I'll do the best I can explaining it all. assignment, and you can see by default it wants to give it to family Hoville, which are the farmers. We've got a few choices of how to do it, but essentially Frankenmoin is just free-for-all, like no obligation. Stewardship is exactly that. I get all of the produce off of the land, which we don't really want. Fee farm is a flat rate, which is what we will do for their homes, because the home doesn't generate anything. It's not a business. So it's more. This is more just rent per season. That's just straight rent. But soakage or soakage or whatever the fuck this is gives me a percentage of their take, right? Which is, I think, is probably ideal. There's no point taxing them that they can't actually pay their way. So this will be reflective of their actual produce. Now you can adjust it, but we'll just go with the 10% default, right? So let's do the same thing for the forest family, which is the Lindsays. We'll plonk that there. And then we've got the fishing family down here, the Briars, right? Now, just talking about all the families, you can click on here and you can actually sort of click through them and you can see they're full-on families. They're all different ages, different stat lines, mostly fishing professions, but you can see some of them could do some wood cuttings and all that sort of stuff. And they will do what they need to do on their plot, right? So if they need to cut down trees or whatever, they'll bloody do it, right? It's probably also worth mentioning now, let's click on it. And you can see these are the things that we can lay a blueprint for, is probably the best way to do it. And these are infrastructure upgrades. You want a fishing rod? In fact, we do want a fishing rod. Let's plonk it down. You want it rotated so it's facing off. So that's designated there. So they're going to try and build that. However, because they're just a poor shitty family with nothing going on, all they've got is a couple of bucks in their pocket and some food. They don't have the physical resources to make this fishing rod happen. If you mouse over it, you can see it costs 4 wood rod and 1 yarn. So what we could probably do, actually, let's go to the warehouse. No. Let's not click on the warehouse. What we will do is we'll bring up our book of what we own in our warehouse. And let's see what we've got. Well, look, yarn. In fact, if we were to go to the Briar family, you can click on what they need. And right now, they're looking to purchase exactly that because they only have one thing to build, right? So we're going to grant them the yarn free of cost. We could sell it to them, I suppose, but I don't care, honestly. I've got it. I'm not trying to be a monster or anything like that. However, we don't have the wood rods. We've got wood and we've got planks, but we don't have wood rods. So this is where the forestry family will come in. Now, they should just start chopping down trees and doing busy work. We might even expand their zone a little bit. Don't do it that way, Scarlet. Do it this way because your numbers make more sense. What do you reckon? Let's give them another. There you go. Bit more room to play. So let's just let it run for a moment. Yeah, see, now they're just going to start chopping down trees because that's sort of their purview. Yeah, getting some logs. Now, I'm not exactly 100% sure how sticks are made. I think maybe they just happen. It's not really clear to me. Oh, there you go. He got sticks just then. All right, so these blokes have sticks, and they need sticks. Now, I wonder, I think they might gentleman's agreement. I don't know if they do. Otherwise, we might need to enable them to buy. Because what I could do, yeah, of course we do. I could seize. I could try and seize the stuff and give it to them. I don't think that's a fucking smart move. But what we'll do is we'll actually set up a market. Marketplace, right? So the marketplace sort of represents a free-for-all. Let's put it down. Where will we put it? Let's put it here. Just for now. All this shit can move, whatever. We're going to put a storefront. Small store for villagers to sell their goods. All right? Costs 1 plank. But that's fine because I've probably got a shitload of planks in my storage. And this marketplace is like a government building, right? So my servants, family members, whatever, they'll build it. These families won't. They're not interested in it. So I'm just going to put some storefronts there. And my servants should just spring up and just get on it. I think, is that how it works? Are you technically a servant, sir? I click on you. Servants. Yeah, you can see like they're different families. So I do, by default, have a servant, and he's getting his little bloody go-kart. Oh, I've got a couple of servants. Okay, cool. Oh, look at this. I've got like a military dude as well. Now, you can sort of press gang servants in from families as well. So like if I want more of my government workforce, look at this, like send to enlist in the army so you can imprison. You can just drag people out of families if you need to, right? Now, in the meantime, have they built this yet? Anyone can build? Because now that I have enabled the ability to sell, I think what should happen is these guys will actually sell their goods. Farmers, the foresters, right? What we could also do actually is go sawhorse. What's that require? 2 wood, plank. Anyone? Recipes makes wood into 3 plank. So what we'll do is we'll give them, let's give them a sawhorse there. So they should be able to build that easily enough. You can see there that my servants, because that's outside of the zone, my servants do the work and the family works within the bounds. And that's another thing. We have an allocated household. So Horville, you can have that, and you can see it's free farm or fee farm, whatever you call it. Horville, Lindsay, and bloody old mate, Briar. So now they've got a home. And if you click on the home, all these things can be built, and that's where they'll go to sleep. But, you know, without a bed, they're going to get a sore back, that sort of thing. Really interestingly, and this might not be covered on the episode today, but if you give them, like, small shelves, because they'll try and fill that. Look, they want to fill it with, I'm pointing at my screen, cheese, butter, bread, all these sort of things. So within the economy of their family, they will buy these things automatically. They will go to market and engage with the market, and they will buy them, and they'll bring them home. And then you could give them a well, or we can make a public well to get water. Cauldron, I think, is for all sorts of different stuff. You can see all the different things there. They can prep ingredients, and barrels. You can keep all sorts of crap in there, like grapes and things. And if you give them like cooking table, what they'll do is you can see there, you've got excellent meals, good meals, cooked ingredients, all the stuff that it requires, the subcategories. So if you give them that infrastructure, in this example, if you give them kitchening infrastructure, they will, within the finances of their home, go out and buy all the ingredients, mix them together, prep them, and start making better meals that give them stat boosts, right? So that sort of gives you an idea of how this game wants to be played. Now, it looks like, are we fishing? What's going on? Have we built the fish rod? I mean, there's a little fish symbol there. I think we have. So meanwhile, while I was standing here talking shit, an arrangement was made. No, construction of fishing rod. Requires 1 wood, 1 yarn. Now, I did give you yarn. They're still chipping away, trying to get this sawhorse happening. So we'll just let them chop down these trees because they're in the way. Here we go. So that's getting built, and then they're just going to start chopping planks up. Chopping wood up. Because, yeah, they're going to need rods to build. Well, now, what else can we build? While we work this out? Fishing net, 8 yarn. Can trap fish, effective when fishing, but requires time. Well, you know what? Let's go. Let's plonk a fishing net there. I think that works. Yep, cool. But they're going to need 8 yarn, and you know what? I'll just grant that to them. Now, you can build walls and roofs and houses, and they're all just lying in these slots for the moment, but that's okay. Baby steps. Now, where were we? Yarn. Again, if we go to the Briar family, it'll tell you they're looking to buy 8. So I'll just grant them 8. There you go. So they should be able to make the fishing net. Now, we need to do farming. You can see there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here, right? Farming's a little bit different. You need farmable soil, because within their farming plot, you maybe don't necessarily want to make the entire thing just soil, though we will. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to, I think it's priorities. Storage priorities has a recommended setting, which is great. So you can see there that they're going to try and store wheat, rye, firewood. They make their own firewood as well if you give them a chopping block, all that sort of crap. Products, what's going on here? Oh, I suppose this is stuff that you can make at the farm, right? Animals, you need to give them permission for animal limitations. So they want to raise chooks, and if I say, here you go, you can have 2 chooks, then they will go out of their way to try and buy chooks from other people. And while I'm on that, just really quickly, like there's a lot to unpack, right? This marketplace is a free market to be staffed by my families and my town. We can make a caravan market, which has caravans traveling by, and they do the same thing. So they sell more exotic goods, and maybe that's how you get chickens and that sort of thing, right? Anyway, okay, so soil is what we're getting to. I suppose we could tell them to grow trees and orchids and all that sort of stuff. For now, we're going to say potatoes, because it's always potato time. Now, I don't really understand what this is. Villagers will ignore percent of farming soil with the lowest soil quality so it can regenerate. Oh, well, no. I suppose that means that once the soil gets used, it degrades. So it needs a bit of a breather. If we were to put it onto 0, I'm assuming that they're just going to farm like motherfuckers. But whatever, that's fine. Let's do that. So they're going to have plenty to do on the next day. And we'll just sort of try and keep an eye on what everyone's up to. Not that that's an easy task. Where are you going? You've gone to market. Perfect, right? So what are you selling? Look at this. We're selling wood rods. We're selling planks. We're selling clay. You know, all the crap that we found on our land. Now, what's going on down here? There you go. So I think he's brought someone's going to have to bring the thing down that I granted. Oh, look. They're buying, collecting resources. Oh, no, maybe they're not buying. Family business, fishing. Here you go, storing things. So I think there you go, they bought the rods and they're bringing them down here. They bought some wood as well, I guess. Fucking why not? Nice, look at that. Now we've got fishing rods built, we've got a fishing net built. Things are starting to get going. We're sort of ploughing up the land there. So I suppose you got to be careful, because I think if you fuck your economy, like if you haven't got the, food in, food out, essentially like a caloric balance or even winter squared away, it's going to be too late by the time you figure it out. The other thing is you can get larger buildings, I believe, and it might be dictated by the size of the family. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Outdoor feeder is for animals. Ground depository is for storage, barrels, all that sort of crap, right? And then you could put a storefront specifically here so they could sell their own stuff. Maybe we'll do that, right? But now I think that explains everything. So what are we missing now? Where's the bottleneck? Bottleneck's more families. And in order to get more families, we would need to make an inn, which is where? Look, rope mill. Look at all this crap. This is crazy. I suppose you could have one family run multiple businesses. There's no real reason why you couldn't do that. You can also get the clergy going as well. So you press gang people and say, you're a priest now, eat shit, off to the wall with the Night's Watch, right? And then you build their sort of quarters where they live, and people go to them, for spiritual guidance, but you have to bankroll them because they're essentially a state service, right? It's not strictly state, but you know what I mean. And you can give donations to the clergy. What I really need to do also is build a quarters for my cottage. Here, is that it? A living area dedicated for your servants, right? So I don't know, let's do that. For the Gronk servants, so they can live there. Okay? Alright, so things are starting to kick along. I suppose we could just scale up some of our industry. No, I really wanted to build an inn, didn't I? This one here. Can serve villages and provide housing for travellers. Inn is required to expand your settlement and can be managed by any peasant family. All right. Whatever. That sounds good. Let's put an inn right here. Now, these tiny plots I'm making are so unreasonably small. But whatever. How about we make... You guys will do. You guys can run my inn. Right? And we'll scale that up in a minute. I really wouldn't mind building, I suppose, the caravan essentials, right? Town hall, kitchen. See, now a lot of this stuff I don't know about. I don't really know. Stables, caravan marketplace. That sounds good. Let's do that. And that's run by my peasantry. Let's put a storefront here. What else can we do? What's the campfire do? Can warm up a room and provide light. Don't care. Caravan storage, 2 planks. All right, let's do that. Let's put a bunch of caravans there. And then sell storefront. Yep, so that's just planks, which I will have plenty of in storage. And these guys are working away. And the fishermen will start selling their fish, I suppose. What else can we do here? Small barrel. What's that cost? 2 planks. Here you go. Put a barrel there. A small barrel and a large barrel. Is there a difference? I don't know. Whatever. Do they do the same thing? They might do the same thing. Look at all this crap's popping up. And a storefront. I mean YOLO, right? Let's give them a storefront. And I suppose we would... Can I build a fishing rod over the net? It looks like it. And then I guess I could build nets there. And then what we'll do is we'll build a storefront for me. Let's just say like that. All these people lying out in the rain. I should probably get rid of all these warnings. Up here you'll have to pay attention to. So we're not running into any real problems yet because, well, here you go actually. Look at that. It's recently slept in bad conditions. Low comfort. And that's because they all slept in the dirt. Scarlet hasn't really looked after his people, but let's worry about getting an economy going first. One thing at a time. So what do we got? What are we selling here? Clay, planks, fish. Resources sold from stock. None. Contains. Okay. Cool. Well, what are you doing? Wandering around. So what we probably want to do is we're going to need to designate what we're going to sell. We have to manage our own stuff. And then trade. That would be here. Local market. Local market. Trade with the villagers. Sure, yeah. Oh, right, it's clicked on beer barrel by default. Only owned? That sounds reasonable. Yeah, there we go. Yarn. All right, so let's put yarn up. Yarn. Sell. Always sell everything. Though we could do specific numbers perhaps if I want to hold out a certain amount, right? But let's just go all sell for market price, though I could give away for free. And I think it's already approved. It should already be selling. Oh, what are you doing? Family business fishing. There you go. He bought it and he's gone and grabbed it from the storage. Storing things. Brought it down. Building a net. Okay, cool. I think I've managed to show off how the economy actually works, right? The industry through to economy. Yeah. Now, getting this inn working is probably a smart move. So let's go through it. Bar. A place to sell beers, meals, and bedrooms at the inn. Costs, recipes, beer barrel. Yeah, right. Bar. Let's do that. Let's build a bar. See, it's pretty low tech at the moment, but that's okay. They're doing all right out here in the forest. Caravan arrived. Let's go. Oh, look, they got a moo cow. They will soon offer their goods in a storefront at the caravan marketplace. Wonderful. So let's just watch them come in. And they store their caravan in the little holster. He's got a little cow. And they're having a chat or something. And I guess they'll get around to offering up their goods. Oh, we could probably peek in there. Oh, wow, look at all this. Sausage. The boys are going to go nuts for that. Tools, steel rod, all that sort of stuff. That sounds pretty cool to me. I don't know if they're selling the cow. But what we could potentially do is... I don't know if they'll have the money for this, but we'll go adjust priorities, animals, because I know you'd be interested in cow. I'll allow you the rights to buy a cow. And then we'll see what happens. Okay. Ooh, this is fun. Okay. Fishing rod, fishing net. That's all pretty good. I think as long as we've got enough fish to go around, we'll be fine. What about you guys? So we've got a sawhorse going, outdoor feeder. For animals to eat from, can be filled with straw, acorns, vegetables. It doesn't really matter. Ground depository is probably sensible for a bit of storage. So let's do that there. I like this game very, very much. The living conditions in my town are terrible. Now, ground storage, heavy resources, stores. Looks like they store the same thing. What's the difference? Anyone can build, requires carpenter. Interesting, right? So we don't have one of those, not yet. Anyone can build a chest, crafting materials and precious items. Oh. Okay. I think maybe we build a chest. Let's put one there. Knackery. Area designed for animal corpses. I mean, do they hunt in the forest? Oh, wow, it's quite large, isn't it? Anyone can build. Blocks path. Let's put one there, you know. Small barrel. A smaller barrel with weak construction, anyone can build. Larger barrel requires carpenter, right? So for starters, let's put that there. And then well, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure how to cancel. Oh, I know how to delete, but I don't think I can move things. Erase blueprint. Here we go. Cool. Knackery, barrel, store. And again, we'll put a storefront now that we're starting to get a wriggle on. Though, that's going to be blocked. So let's put it there so it's actually within the territory. Yeah. So that's everything that they can build at the moment. If we have a look at priorities, we've got the storage, products, production priorities. All things being even. Animals, they want pigs. Tree management. At the moment, it's all pretty even, Steven, what trees, because they reforest as they go as well. What's happened here? So what's this bloke doing? Visitor from the caravan. Hey, right, he's putting up his goods. Animals on sale, cattle. So let's see what happens here. Oh, she's getting straight into it. Oh, Oh, Jesus, what did you buy? It's hard to tell. Storing things? Let's have a look. What do you got? Show inventory. Oh, that's a family inventory. Okay, whatever. Oh, cattle's not for sale anymore. They scooped that cow up. Quick smart. Nice. Nice. Everyone's just hanging around having a chat. Hey, I feel like things are going well. Normal meal, bar. Handling bar. Yeah, so we can't really sell beers, not yet. Well, having said that, let's go back to our system here and see, because we do have beer. There you go, beer barrel. So what we'll do is we'll go trade, beer barrel, sell. In fact, well, I was going to just say I'll just free for all sell everything, but I don't know if that is the wise move. I can buy it as well, which is cool. Until taxed? Oh, interesting. So you can put all sorts of exceptions. So at least now they'll be able to stock the pub with beer. Cooking table. Basic table able to prepare food and cook meals. Anyone can build. Does not deteriorate. 1 cooked milk, 3 cheese. Flour and water to dough. Cooked ingredients. Okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's get a cooking table and put it there. What else we got? A cauldron used for cooking and brewing. Let's do that. Let's do a well. Easy access for underground water. Do that. It's getting busy in there. Look at all these people just hanging out. I think you can build wells at home, but you can also have like a public space. Where would you build a well? Probably like at a town hall, maybe? Warehouse? Let's put a well there, just in case the people can use it. I'm curious. Let's get that built. And see if just randos will roll up, because it's... I don't know how it works with the warehouse. Not sure. Anyway, so there you go. Lords and Villeins. Sorry. Very, very cool game. I think there's so much potential here, but it's going to take a bunch of episodes. Oh, hunger. We got a hunger problem, do we? Oh, no, your villagers will cook and build. Cooking... Yep. No, we know this. I guess I got to look into all this and try and address those issues. Maybe build some beds or something just for a gimmick. Anyway, cool. Let me know if you want to see some more team, because I'd be happy to play more. Otherwise, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I will catch you guys on the next one.